Good evening, everyone. It is Tuesday, March 25th, 2025 at 7 p.m. I'd like to call the regular Board of Trustees meeting to order. This meeting is scheduled ahead of our normal April 1st meeting because we have an election coming up, and so we moved it ahead. I've got a short invocation. Father, we ask for wisdom, guidance, and discernment in the decisions that we make that affect our village and its residents. We also ask you to watch over our police, fire, EMS, and all who serve. Roll call, please.
Trustee Keller?
Here.
Trustee McGurran?
Here.
Trustee Nelson? Absent. Trustee Olson?
Here.
Trustee Pike?
Here.
Trustee Porter?
Here.
And President Wecken.
Here. Okay, item 2, review and approve minutes from the regular board meeting of March 4th, 2025.
Move to approve.
Thank you, Brian. Is there a second?
Second.
John, thank you. Any amendments, corrections, or additions to the minutes as presented? Hearing none. All in favor of the minutes as presented, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Thank you. Item 3, comments from the floor. It's the opportunity for the Village North Hudson residents, property owners, business owners to make the board aware of topics, issues, opportunities not on today's agenda. Amy?
I believe I need to go to the mic.
Yep.
How quickly we forget these things.
Name and address.
Hello, I'm Amy Noonan, 323 7th Street North, right down the street. I'm a community member. I was a trustee for a short period of time, and I'm also involved in, I'm one of the 2 village reps that was appointed by the board for a committee that I'm on. I was here along with Paul McGinnis back in December. I actually had to look it up because I couldn't remember when that was, but he did a short speak on the Lake Malibu Trestle Committee and the project we've been working on I've been on for 3+ years. Many other people have been working on it for longer. And then I watched in February. There was no meeting in January. Oh, and you were given a packet, as you may recall, a big packet electronically with a lot of different things on it, which I know you were going into a closed meeting after, and probably a lot of you didn't have a lot of time to look at it, depending on when you open that up. But it contained a fact sheet about the things we've been doing, exploring our purpose, a number of maps, including the flood zones, ownership of the different properties in question with this park concept that our committee has been trying to work with. Also, an image actually of a concept that we developed with the help of the National Park Service, and also a list of some regulations that would pertain in particular to many of those properties in question are in the Conservancy, as you already know, and so they have lots of special regulations and requirements. So then in February, there was no January meeting. In February, 2 members of our committee, Mike Garrity and Susan Hauser, who I see is here tonight, came and did an informative presentation again. And what I am here for tonight is to make a formal request that the board, someone on the board makes a motion to add this matter to the May agenda, and that our board, knowing that this has been worked on for 3+ years, knowing that 2 members of our community, Kirk Nelson and myself, I was a trustee at the time, were nominated to this multi-municipality group to explore and work with national parks, which we've had a grant for that every year, that a good faith effort is made by the board to go through the packet thoroughly, take the time to discuss it, share your ideas, questions. I'm certain that our group, Susan is our secretary, would be more than willing to share any additional information or if you don't have the original information, you could reach out to Kirk or myself. And that it is, again, I'd like to ask one of you to make a motion that this would be on the May agenda as an item for discussion and for serious consideration, and an opportunity for all of you to learn what you need to learn about it, discuss it, and for any members of our community that are here or listening online to get better up to date on what this is even all about. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Amy.
I think you have to raise your hand and then.
Teachers. Hi, I'm Mary Beth Lorbecki Mataya, and I was on the park board, served on the park board a while ago, and I served on the plan commission a number of years ago. And I am here to also second that request that we start moving forward on looking really seriously, because I believe that this board and our village really likes it when people participate. We've got this lovely Pepperfest Park that's been built, and all the volunteer energy. And I have watched meeting after meeting, people working super hard on this proposal. I mean, the amount of volunteer hours over, 10 years for Mark Garrity and some of the others, it's only respectful to honor that work that they have invested by investing and taking this proposal seriously. Because this isn't a fly-by-night proposal. It's very thought through. They've gone through committee after committee in the national park and the 3 cities and the city, the county, the village. So I ask that you all honor that effort and match it with really serious consideration, because these opportunities will not come again. You don't get land anymore after this. So we use it or we lose it. And, the village has wanted good parks, and this is an opportunity, economic one, a village one for community building, for people, bringing in people along that way to use our restaurants and our facilities and things. So I just hope you all do that, because you do lovely, wonderful things. So let's do that. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Just one other thing, I had asked about the 7th Street area that has, by Riverside, that has so much traffic going so fast, and I honor the efforts of the police to try and reduce it. I will say, we've got a nice sign up there down, but it's still a problem. I mean, they come, and it's just like they want to do it in your face almost, like scare you as you're walking. So and I know that it's an important thing, because other people came for the plan commission notes and things like that and said, Riverside people are rushing and there's danger there. So thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Dan.
Thank you, President Wecken. I'm Dan Schmidt. I live at 756 Summit Lane North in the village. I did not coordinate my comments with anyone else, but I was writing some notes down and things that I wanted to talk about. And the number one subject was the interest in follow-through on the Lake Malibu Basin property. I do feel it is an opportunity for the village to continue to study and make some plans for the potential of that future development. I know there's stakeholders involved that we don't control, the city, the county, but I think we can keep pushing that envelope and asking them to be engaged and to also participate in this. I'm not asking the village to carve out hundreds of thousands of dollars for the development of property or anything like that, of a park. In the short run, I think everybody wants there to be something that's reasonable, that's attainable. And we don't know what the future holds in terms of whether they would be, state or federal money, private grants. We have no idea. I've listened to a lot of presentations about this. I've been attending village board meetings since before my wife Mary got on the board. I went to a lot of park commission meetings when this was discussed and things. I felt like when Mark Garrity was here providing that presentation in February, he was kind of rushed along. I think the real important thing for him to come back and do that detailed presentation is there's new people on the board, probably haven't heard anything about it, new citizens that maybe weren't aware of it. So at the end of it all, I think it was Kirk that asked Mark, what do you want the village board to do at this time? And he asked for engagement. And so I think that truly is the ask, and I think it's not just from someone who's not a resident of the village, but it's from all of us. And I feel like people that have committed the time and things to be involved. I didn't come here expecting someone else to say, you should honor that effort and things, but I do think that's well said. So one other thing, if I could just touch on briefly, is this is not probably a new song for me to sing, but I'm always mindful and trying to impress everyone with the idea that we can always do more in terms of communication. I think the village has been hesitant to invest much in that area. The village staff is stretched crazy thin. There has been no increase to staff. Staff hours were cut back, in light of, kind of an adjustment, so to speak, for pay. And, the staff is doing, I think, everything possible to do communication. But we have tools we can use. There's a listserv, and there's no reason that there isn't communication that goes out more regularly. I say no reason in terms of using that tool. I'm not blaming any individuals, that don't have the time to do it. I'm saying we need to look at that and say, what can we do to make that happen? Because I think it's really important. I think we don't have local news coverage like we might have at one time. There's people that are paying attention and that are looking at these video recordings and things, and I compliment them for doing that. People that are here in attendance tonight. But we can do more. We can invite people to come in and talk more and engage more with the board. We don't have to say, you can't talk about something on the agenda. That's a rule we're making for ourselves. We don't have to have that rule. And I really think it's a disservice to people to say that. I took 20 minutes and looked at several municipalities. The city, the village, the town of Hudson, and Prescott all say, we don't want to hear about what's on our agenda. The town of Troy says resident comment. Doesn't qualify it. Town of St. Joe says public comment. The village of Somerset says, we only want you to talk about what is on the agenda. And they're very clear about limiting the amount of time and the gross amount of time per subject. And you have that authority to make those rules, and you have the authority to not allow any comments. I understand that. What I'm asking you is to think about what can you do to make it welcoming for people to come here and want to participate? Because I think that's what makes a community better. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else?
What was the communication tool he mentioned? Just to serve.
I just wanted to thank you all. And there's one other group that's really active in the village, and I don't know, and this is a query, how much this board is interacting with them, but the Lake Malibu Association that's working on the water quality in the lake. And I had gone to a number of those meetings, and I didn't see a lot of village participation in that. And maybe I missed it, and I'm not on top of everything, so I apologize if that's already part of what you do. But it seems to me that since the Lake Malibu quality of the lake is so important to residents that would be a group that there should be lots of cooperation and partnership with, and maybe some zoning in here about, what's to help with the watershed, grasses along it and stuff like that, because the DNR have lots of recommendations, and I don't know if we integrate those into our thinking. So I apologize for not knowing enough, but I query it out to you to be looking into, I guess. Thank you.
Anyone else? Thank you very much, everyone. Okay, item 4 is new business from the board or staff, and the first one is President's comments. And since this is the April meeting, or is in lieu of the April meeting, I'd like to wish everyone a blessed Passover and Easter as we approach the season in a few weeks. And also, I'd just like to say that with the election next week, this could be my last meeting. And depending, everybody says elections have consequences. And I just want to say what an honor and a privilege it's been to serve as your village president since 2013. I came to express I cannot express how thankful I am to work with our administration staff, our public works, and police departments. They are absolutely tremendous assets to the village of North Hudson, and I just would like to thank them and everyone for their support. Gina?
So spring election, April 1st, seems to be a popular topic tonight. We do have in-person voting that is taking place. It's been, they begin in-person voting 2 weeks before the election, so we're on our second week. Tomorrow, Wednesday, we are open until our normal hours of 4:30. Then Thursday, we are going to be open a little bit later until 5 o'clock on Thursday. And then on Friday, we have our normal 8 to 11:30, and then we'll reopen from 3 to 5 for those last minute shoppers. So if you're looking to do in-person absentee, those would be the times that you can come in and do that. Again, just a reminder for Wisconsin, when we do in-person absentee, you're not actually early voting, so you're not putting your ballot into the machines. Our polls don't open until election day, and that's when those ballots are cast. So it's no different than if you were doing an absentee ballot through mail. They get stored safely and securely, and then the election workers on election day are the ones that run those ballots. So we've had a lot of people wanting to put their ballot in, but that's not early voting. We're not Minnesota. We are in-person absentee. So just a reminder for that. We did do our voting equipment public test today. And so what happens with that is I take out all the voting equipment and I create my own scenarios and I run them through the voting equipment to make sure that what I'm expecting, when I overcheck boxes, when I overvote, when I undervote, when I select each of the candidates' names, that the results that come out of the machine at the end of my test match the expectation of me and the test that I do run. So I did complete that and everything went great and everything is ready to go. So we're ready for next week. The only other item, elections have been consuming. In-person absentee voting is amazing, but it is, I think, Dan, it's all I do then for 2 weeks before the election because it's pretty full-time. So that's all I have on my update, other than I did want to mention we have a very big anniversary coming on April 15th. Chief Richard will have been with the village for 25 years. As the chief for 19 of those 25 years. So if you see Chief out and about, please congratulate him, and we're excited to help celebrate that milestone. That's all I got.
Alrighty. Item 5, amended Class Parent B / Parent Class B liquor license for extended premise Malibu Inn Spring Motorcycle Run, April 12, 2024. Approval requested.
Oh, I'm sorry. It should say 2025.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know how I didn't catch that.
Yeah.
It
Well,
does in the
Short
motion.
staff, so we,
Yeah, it does in the motion, just not on the agenda.
All right, Stan, I move that the parent Class B retail license for the sale of fermented malt beverages and intoxicating liquors for Malibu Inn be temporarily amended for an event taking place April 12, 2025, with the following conditions. Number one, sale of alcohol to be extended to the parking lot area of the Malibu Inn. Number two, possession of open containers of alcohol outside of the establishment shall remain within the Malibu Inn parking lot and blocked off street area for event, which is Wisconsin Street North from 3rd Street North to 6th Street North. Number three, use of outside area only with specific permission of village board for each particular date and event. The Saturday, April 12, 2025 event is to be from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Number four, 3 North Hudson police officers and up to 3 St. Croix County deputies to be on duty during the hours of the event at the owner's expense, to be billed to the owner by the village. Number 5, owner to provide adequate satellite restroom facilities. Number 6, Wisconsin Street North from 6th Street North to 3rd Street North to be closed to through traffic from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. with an open corridor for emergency vehicles maintained. Surrounding neighbors to be notified in advance by the village. Actual times of the detour route are at the discretion of the commanding North Hudson Police Department officer on the scene. Number 7, payment for village services must be paid within 30 days after the event. Number 8, event map must be provided to the police department by 4:30 p.m. on Wednesday, April 9, 2025. And number 9, alternate date for event to be Saturday, April 26, 2025, if the conditions do not allow for the event to take place on Saturday, April 12, 2025.
thank you, Brian. Is there a second?
I second.
Thank you, Barb. Discussion? Or questions? Anyone? Hearing none. All in favor of the extended premises for the Malibu Inn Spring Motorcycle Run, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you very much. Item 6, North Hudson Elementary School Fun Run. Traffic restrictions, approval requested.
Stan, I recommend the authorization of traffic restriction on Webster Street North from Lemon Street North to Helen Street North, and Helen Street North from Webster Street North to Monroe Street North, and Monroe Street North from Helen Street North to Lemon Street North, for the North Hudson Elementary School Fun Run on Friday, May 2nd, 2025, from 3 p.m. to 3:45 p.m., with an alternate rain date of Monday, May 5th, 2025.
Thank you, Brian. Is there a second?
Second.
Thanks, Dusty. Comments or questions? We've done this, how many years, Chief? I mean,
7 or 8 now.
yeah, I think they were up in that range, and we've had no incidents, and it's a fun day for the children, and yeah, it's a good community, event. So, with that said, all in favor of the Fun Run traffic restrictions and a motion that is made, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Thank you. All right. Plan Commission is next for item 7. The chair is not here, and neither is our attorney. So, Gina, you want to cover the conditional use?
Yeah, can one of the board open up the motion?
Stan, I move to approve the conditional use permit of Matt Brummer, DBA Badger State Storage, GB LLC, to construct 4 new buildings, expanding the existing facility located at 201 Wisconsin Street North, with the following conditions. Number 1, all operations shall comply with federal and state regulations, local ordinances, and state fire and NFPA codes. Number 2, property must pass a satisfactory fire inspection. Number 3, state-approved plans must be provided to the building inspector before a building permit can be issued. Number 4, a sign permit must be issued by the building inspector prior to any sign being installed. Sign shall be in compliance with Section 98-102, signs of the municipal code. Item 5, hours of gate operation to be daily 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. Number 6, no residential occupancy. Number 7, no commercial operation. Number 8, downlighting only, no overhead broad beam lights. Number 9, follow engineer conditions for stormwater management plans, SWMP. Under that is A, record drawings. Record drawings are to be submitted within 30 days after construction is completed. Please note any deviation from the plans may require additional stormwater calculations and/or updates to the WSMP. B, all digital modeling, including CAD files, wind slam files, and volume control modeling are to be submitted prior to starting construction. And letter C, a recorded maintenance agreement is to be submitted prior to starting construction.
Thank you, Brian. Is there a second?
Second.
Thanks, Dusty.
Yeah, I'll give a little bit, and then I don't know, Kevin, if you can speak to where we're at. So the applicant filed the CUP application back to the Plan Commission in February. The Plan Commission did approve the application with the above conditions. The initial stormwater management plan was reviewed by Cedar Corps, and there were quite a bit of exchanges back and forth. And several changes were requested. The revised plans have been resubmitted. Okay, and I'm just making sure that nothing changed. And we've a couple plans have come through. So the plans, the latest plans that have been submitted, are address all of the issues that we had called out. We being Cedar Corps had called out for us, they agree with all of the conditions that were stated as a part of the plan.
So is anybody from the group here?
I don't think so. Doesn't look like it.
Kevin? No?
I don't see anybody.
Well, I was contemplating asking the board whether we should, I've gotten a couple of concerned individuals talking about one of their buildings, which is a historic building. It's brick, in one of those old brick buildings, that there are bricks falling out of it. I went by it today, and it's along the bottom of the building, the brick building, and there's a few bricks that are falling out. And I was thinking maybe we should add that to the CUP, but after discussion with Kevin, it was more like, maybe we just ask them, are you gonna keep that historic building up? So maybe, I don't know, who would pass that on as a question / concern?
Sure. Yep, it would be us.
But I don't think we need to add it to the CUP.
Any other comments?
Yeah, I have some questions for Kevin. So I just want to verify, because I did not understand this. So under point A, under 9, about the drawings to be submitted, so I understand they actually were submitted, the revised drawings. Thank you.
So basically, those are going to be the record drawings.
Okay.
So after the construction is completed, they have to submit those to us. We just have to verify from, the original, what they had on their original plans conforms to what the record drawings are going to be submitted. So they haven't changed like the overall, like the dimensions. The volume is still the same. The elevations are still the same. So that's what that particular item is. That'll be after everything is done and finished.
So you approved what's being proposed?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And then what happens, the statement here, note any deviation from the plans may require additional stormwater calculation or updates to the stormwater management plan. So what happens if there are deviations? What's our recourse?
Then they might have to go actually back out there and do some remediation, maybe actually have to lower the bottom of the pond, maybe enlarge it. Those would have to be the items to address that concern.
So you check those, you check again after it's completed? Is that what will happen?
Yeah, so that's what those record drawings will confirm, that it was built to the original, what was submitted to the village.
And then if it doesn't conform, then you would come back and let the Plan Commission or the board know?
Yes. Yep. Then there might have to be some recourse, maybe some additional discussion. For some reason they don't feel they need to actually take action, then we would bring that back to the Plan Commission.
Thank you. It's not like I'm assuming that's going to happen. I'm just trying to understand, do we need to tighten this up at all so that if this doesn't happen, that we actually have recourse? But what I'm hearing you say is it's built into the protocols already, that you will be following up with them, and if it isn't approved, you would come back.
Yep.
And thank you. Okay.
So, as in every building project we've had, I'm like, who manages this? So are you keeping an eye on this the whole way through?
Yeah, we'll be out.
Or is it on the board, or is it on Gina, or?
It
you.
typically falls on our shoulders.
Okay.
Yep.
Great.
As the village engineer.
So you would be letting us, well, like she said, either the planning commission or the board know that there's deviations if there are.
Yep, we would
Okay.
bring that back.
Great.
Any other comments or questions? Hearing none. All in favor of the conditional use permit for Badger State Storage, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Item 8, Personnel and Finance Committee recommendations, claims approval requested.
Stan, I move to approve December 2024 non-recurring claims of $165 and the March 2025 non-recurring claims of $4,688.73.
Thank you, Brian. Is there a second?
I second.
Thanks, Barb. And as I said in Finance Committee, this is I think the lowest claims that I've seen in since I've been doing this. So it was a pleasant surprise rather than, not another shocking surprise. So and next month I'm sure will be different.
We'll be back to normal.
Yeah. Okay. Any other comments or questions?
I just want to comment that the treasurer's software is working again, and so the treasurer's report, which wasn't available at the beginning of this month, is now available on the website if anyone would like to review that.
All right. Anything else? And being its claims, Brian?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
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 Thank you, unanimous, thank you. Item 9, Public Works Committee recommendations, chair update, Brian?
Stan, we did meet, nothing to bring forward.
Thank you. And item 10, Public Safety Committee recommendations, chair update, Mary?
Okay, first, we had several items that I just want to inform the board about. The first was regarding the 100 block of 7th Street North to Riverside. There was more discussion about the safety of that, and Chief Richard has brought that forward already, I believe, to Public Works for consideration of additional signage for caution on the curve and caution on whatever the sign's going to end up reading. I'm not sure, but he has already brought that forward. So we have address that through public safety, and it'll probably move then to Public Works.
It's on our next agenda.
There we go. It's on the next agenda, the chair says. Also, please review the village website for new information on the process for responding to traffic citations. If I'm sure no one's going to get one because we're all going to obey the rules, but should that come up, that information is posted and relates to the change between us having our own municipal court and the court moving now to St. Croix County. And then the third thing is we had a full committee. All of our trustees were able to be at this month's meeting, and we had a lot of detailed discussion on the animal ordinance following another meeting of public comment. And we will be ready to move forward on a vote on the animal ordinance at the next public safety meeting. And the way that we've handled things are we are not having a flock limit on chickens. We are allowing roosters. We are adding to the noise ordinance that will address any issues with unruly birds. We do have requirements for securing chickens. There isn't fencing requirements per se, but there is a requirement that they are in a secure area and that they have shelter. And we have really addressed, I think, all of those issues. We also will be having a prohibition or proposing a prohibition on livestock in the village. And so that will be coming for vote. The proposed ordinance will be posted before the next meeting. It'll be with the public safety minutes. So if anyone is interested and wants to take a look at that, that will be available. And once public safety makes a decision, it will or will not come forward to the board. Then that's the end of my chair update. The next item is we have 2 motions for approval. And I'm not sure of the protocol. Do I read those myself, or do we need to have someone else read those?
Chair.
Okay, so these 2 motions were approved. I'm going to read the first one from Carolyn Whaley. The motion is to move to approve the application for a fireworks paraphernalia license, temporary use permit for Carolyn Whaley with the following inclusions: no smoking signs must be displayed, fire extinguishers available, no fireworks sold to persons under 18 years of age, operation not to exceed 180 days per calendar year. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Dusty.
Discussion on this motion. So this was, again, reviewed and approved at Public Safety. We had the recommendation from that they had passed the fire inspection, and the information is also on the website with the minutes. I don't know if there's any other comments, Chief, that you would like to make?
At this time.
No other comments? Any discussion? Ready for a vote? All those in favor of the motion?
Aye.
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 So
Opposed?
any opposed? And so that motion passed, and I'm a little confused again because these are under the public safety instead of on the general, being generally moved. So President Wecken, will you be operating the vote for these, or should I be doing?
I'll run the vote and stuff
Okay,
like
thank
that.
you. Thank you.
No, I appreciate it. That was,
And then we have the second motion is to move to approve, just a second, I gotta get to the second one. Thank you. Move to approve the application for a fireworks paraphernalia license, temporary use permit for Anders Nelson, doing business as Fireworks Nation with the following inclusions: no smoking signs must be displayed, fire extinguishers available, no fireworks sold to persons under 18 years of age, operation not to exceed 180 days per calendar year.
I'll second.
Thank you.
okay, there's been a motion and a second. Further discussion.
I will clarify, at the time of the submission, the application did not have the hours of operation. We did clarify that the plan is to have the hours of operation be as posted on their website, which is 9 to 9. Just noting that with a lot of businesses, you can close your doors at 9 and you may still have customers in until they're done shopping. But the hours for the operation are 9 to 9 as posted on their website.
And I would just say again that this was approved by Public Safety.
Thank you. Any further comments or questions? Hearing none. All in favor of the Fireworks Nation paraphernalia license application, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. And item 11, Public Welfare Committee recommendations
Stan, we did not meet.
did not meet. Thank you, Dusty. And how about Park Board?
They did not meet.
They didn't meet either? And they did not meet. Alrighty then. That would bring us to item 13, and where we will convene into closed session. The board may convene into closed session pursuant to statute 19.85, parent 1, parent lowercase e, to deliberate or negotiate the purchase of public properties, the investing of public funds, or conducting other specified public business whenever competitive or bargaining reasons require closed session with respect to sewer and water consolidation updates. And the second part of that, or the second item, is the board may convene into closed session pursuant to 19.85, parent 1, parent lowercase e, to deliberate or negotiate the purchase of public properties, the investing of public funds, or conducting other specified public business whenever competitive or bargaining reasons require a closed session with respect to appraisal of of village property. Is there a motion to go into closed session?
I motion we go into closed second, or to closed session.
Thank you, Barb. Is there a second?
I will second.
Thanks, Dusty. And all in favor of going into closed session, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?